So when rototilling for my backyard garden here, this is just a little hill at the end of my yard. I was finding a bunch of broken glass, even different colored glasses. Partial bottles, pieces of pottery. In another one of my videos, you'll be seeing this massive chunk of concrete that came out. But I've also been lucky enough to find some complete and whole items. This is an old ketchup bottle. Here we have a seashell, some tiny little glass bottles, and one of my favorite items I've found so far is this old C-clamp. It's just so neat the way the bottom end swirls around, how the part you turn looks like an old wind-up key. And I'd really like to bring this back to its former glory, and so this video is going to be about my attempts to restore this C-clamp. And along the way you'll see the processes that I used to do this. So the ultrasonic cleaner that I'll be using is the Central Machinery ultrasonic cleaner from Harbor Freight. Now there are powders and other solutions you can mix up to use in ultrasonic cleaners. I like using Simple Green and water. If you're doing anything cleaning aluminum, they make this extreme simple green that's used for aircraft and won't harm aluminum. But for this project, I'm just going to be using the regular simple green. Because I'm doing a heavier cleaning, I'm using the ratio of 1 part simple green to 10 parts water. I may have actually filled this up a little too high, but there is a max line in here. You don't want to fill it all the way up to that, because when you add your item, that's going to displace some water and rise the level. Also, I'm going to be using the TC button, which I don't know if that's thermal control or basically it's going to heat the fluid. So I've got my object on the ultrasonic cleaner's tray, and I'm going to be putting it in the cleaner. Alright, so we've got the C-clamp in the ultrasonic cleaner submerged in the fluid, and we'll let that fluid get warmed up, and I'll put the lid on in the meantime. Now you are supposed to run this with the lid on to protect from things getting vaporized, to protect things from coming out of the ultrasonic cleaner at you, and to help keep the ultrasonic waves inside of the cleaner device. I am going to run it for a little bit with the lid off, just so you can see what this item looks like while it's running, and then I'll probably clean it a few more times with the lid on. Alright, let's see what the solution looks like after running it for a while. You can see all the condensation on the lid from the steam. And our solution is very murky now after the cleaning. You can't even see the C-clamp in there. You can see after cleaning it's definitely not perfect, but it got a lot of the dirt off and maybe a little bit of the rust off. Definitely we'll have to take further steps here. Go to my channel and look for part 2 of this video where I use electrolysis to clean off the rust.